Jeremy Abbott.
And here comes Jeremy Abbott out of the back. And Jason, when you talk about this man with his 2-1 record and 1 KO, what comes to mind when you look at him as a fighter?
Yeah, Abbott is a guy that, he's a straight ahead guy. He's an honest fighter. He gives a great effort. He's gritty and he's right there, and he always puts on a show. The same with Ryan Wagner. I mean, this is the recipe for a terrific fight. I mean, both guys are there. They might not hit with tremendous power, but they're there to fight. And they're in a position to fight, they're in a position to throw. They're also in a position to be hit. So if you're a fight fan, you really can't complain about a matchup like this.
We heard Horace Hunter talk about cutting weight and how difficult it was for him. A lot of the fighters on this card have had to cut weight or put on weight to get into their class that they're in. How difficult is that on a young fighter?
Especially in Ontario, if you're fighting out of your weight class, it's extremely difficult because there's same-day weigh-ins. So you don't get the benefit of that extra time to rehydrate and gain your strength. So if you've got to cut weight if you've got to cut a lot of weight to hit the scales in Ontario, you don't have the benefit of time to replenish yourself. So you're entering the ring really struggling. So it's very important that if you're fighting in this province, you're in a comfortable weight class, or else it's extremely difficult to make that adjustment come fight time.
Ryan Wagner coming out of the back now. Wagner with a 2-1 record as well.
And Wagner is a guy that we've seen here before in Mississauga. Fought a terrific fight against Sam Vargas, losing a unanimous decision. A real grudge match type of fight. Both guys from Orangeville, Ontario. There was a lot of talking before the fight. You could tell they didn't like each other, but it was a terrific contest between these two guys. Now, tonight, with Abbott, you've got the same type of matchup. Two guys that are there, two fights, two guys that are there to be hit, and we'll see how Wagner bounces back, not only from the loss, but it's been a while since we've seen him in the ring as well. That was September of 2011. It's around 10 months. It's a long time for a local guy to be off.
And Wagner is one of quite a few fighters coming out of the Orangeville area now, becoming a bit of a hotbed of Ontario boxing.
It really is. It's incredible how many good fighters are coming out of there. Brian Mackey's doing a great job in that area. Of course, we saw Buzz Grant come out of there. Mackey, Logan McGinnis, Ryan Wagner. It's turning into a hotbed.
Ring to referee Mark Simmons. Introducing first, in the blue corner, he weighed in at 139 pounds, wearing black. His professional record consists of 2 wins, only 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. From Dunville, Ontario, Jeremy Showtime Abbott. His opponent in the red corner, he weighed in at a solid 138 pounds, wearing black, trimmed with orange. His professional record, 2 wins, only 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. From Orangeville, Ontario, Ryan Wagner.
Went over the instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. When I say break, you step back, stop punching, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Jeremy Abbott wearing the black trunks. And Ryan Wagner in the black trimmed with orange. Here we go for round number 1. Scheduled 4-rounder. Boy, Wagner certainly comes out with his hands low.
Yeah, Wagner casual in there, but he focused as well. A lot of times the low hands are a means of getting a punch out so you can counter. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing.
Wagner certainly not shy of throwing the big punches right out of the gate. Nice job by Abbott to cover up as Wagner goes over top.
Both guys not quite as polished as the prospects we've seen in the first 4 fights, but what they lack for classic acumen, they more than make up for it in grit and heart.
Jeremy Abbott lands his first big right. Comes over top again of that left hand of Ryan Wagner. His second time that Abbott is connected. Wagner with a combination.
Wagner really leaves his chin exposed.
Sure does,
and he's like a flag flapping in the wind.
Yeah, he's been tagged 3 times. As you watch Abbott just put the gloves up and backpedal away from the big shots of Ryan Wagner.
Wagner leading with the uppercut and missing. Dangerous if you leave yourself exposed for a counter, especially a left hook. Let's see if Abbott able to take advantage of that should that happen again.
Wagner doing a good job of getting that left jab through the gloves of Abbott.
Good left hand, good right hand by Wagner. Here's that crazy uppercut again.
He throws that uppercut, but he also bounces out of the way very quickly. And you know what? You get caught with one of those, and that's a quick down.
Yeah, well, absolutely. The problem is, if you miss with that punch, you leave yourself in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a left to the temple of Wagner. Wagner just goes for the clinch, trying to break it now as Mark Simmons comes in. Wagner saw the opening. Abbott can't counter with the left, and Wagner comes through with the right again. Drops the left hook. Final seconds here of the first round, and they'll go toe-to-toe. What an exciting end to this first round as Abbott gets one on the chin. Wagner comes fighting back, and they go to their respective corners. A little bit of showboating to boot.
Wagner just target practice with Jeremy Abbott in the last 30 seconds of that fight, of that round. And really the difference is, when Wagner straightens his punches out, he's a decent fighter over there.
Yeah.
There's not a look to them. He's a pretty good fighter.
I was going to say, very direct, very direct in his attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Instead of loading up and being wild and going roundhouse, we saw a very straight line from Ryan Wagner at the end of that fight.
And 2 young guys with a ton of energy just throwing bombs at the end.
Yeah, I mean, loading up with that uppercut, it may look showy at times, but really it does nothing compared to a good straight punch. And it's a good straight punch that we saw there. That right hand, terrific punch by Wagner. And we saw a lot of them there. It's when the punches are straight and sharp from Wagner that he's a threat in the ring.
And what we saw from Abbott, and that's the difference in the end of that round, was a bit of a loop to his punch, and Wagner was able to take advantage of it.
A bit of loop to his punch and then a total absence of defense as well. His hands totally down. And his head really being put on a swivel by Ryan Wagner at the end of round 1.
Wagner with a flurry to finish off the first round, and he started the second round right where he left off in the first. Abbott trying to work his way back. And Wagner is just backing him up with one after another.
Yeah, he's backing him up, and Abbott has a horrible habit of dropping his hands after he throws a punch and just leaving himself.
And he just got caught doing that. Came through with a right and got mixed up with Wagner's left.
Yeah, just an open invitation to be hit by Ryan Wagner.
Abbott connects with Wagner's chin, and Wagner follows up by tagging Abbott yet again.
I love Wagner's straight right. We're seeing it really change the tenor of this fight. Top it off, he's throwing an educated jab this round, something we didn't see in round one.
Yep.
Maybe almost being told, take that uppercut out of the repertoire. It's really not doing you any good. And replacing it with good, straight, strong punches here in round two.
That uppercut is more of a glory punch than it is as an effective tool.
Yeah, it looks good, but if it doesn't land, one, you've used a lot of energy throwing it. Two, you put yourself in a position to really be hit because you threw it. So, it's in my mind, the odds say it's best not throwing it.
Wagner goes over the top and missed with that one, but he had Abbott lined up, and again, tagging him with that jab to the chin. He's coming through with each one of those. Wagner's got him in the corner now, and they're both going toe-to-toe. Now he's going to work over the body.
Well, we mentioned Ryan Wagner's chin in round one. Be remiss to point out Jeremy Abbott's chin looking equally vulnerable here in round two, especially with his arms dropping every time he throws a punch.
What's happening with Jeremy Abbott is even when his hands are up and he's protecting himself, Wagner's able to get the jab through the gloves and tag him on the chin.
Exactly, so even when his hands are up, it's a good point, Doug, he's still getting clocked and getting clocked often here at the end of round two.
Yeah, Wagner's just throwing over the top, and Abbott's trying to hang on to the end of the round and get to the end of the round. He does so. And Wagner once again coming through with a flurry to finish off a round. And that may be enough to take the round away as well.
Oh, easily take the round. Round one and round two are easy Ryan Wagner rounds. Let's give Abbott credit, though. He's pretty tough. He's taking a lot of flush shots and is still standing and answering back. Now, you know, he's taking too many shots to my liking. You can't fault his grip.
Let's go to Michelle Storino in Wagner's corner.
Yeah, guys, they're telling him to... Yeah, guys, Wagner's corner is really telling him to use his jab to open up the body of Abbott because he's covering up really high. It's opening up and exposing Abbott's body, and they're saying that he happens to be wasting a lot of shots on Abbott's head when he could be just obliterating that body and getting some uppercuts and hooks to the body of Jeremy Abbott.
And Wagner coming out here in the third round. And it seems like at the beginning and at the end of every round, Wagner's got some big flurries to start and finish off the rounds, and that could be the difference in this fight. A huge uppercut connecting.
Finally landed it and really shook Jeremy Abbott's legs.
Give Jeremy Abbott credit, though. He keeps on fighting, does not go down, and right now it looks like Wagner in the clinch was trying to throw back over top.
Very old school, that uppercut in the clinch. You don't see too often. When it lands, it's effective, but boom.
There's a big right
hand.
Wagner's got him on the ropes. Can he finish off Abbott? Abbott moving from side to side. Wagner pummeling him with combinations, left and right. Wagner trying to knock down, and look at Jeremy Abbott stay to his feet.
Too tough, I think, for his own good at this point. I think referee Simmons has got to step in and stop this.
Wagner.
It looks like dead man walking in there for Jeremy Abbott right now.
A few big combinations from Ryan Wagner has Jeremy Abbott backpedaling against the ropes. And here goes Wagner again, looking to tee off.
Well, you got to stop it.
Mark Simmons is in tight. The referee's right on top of it. This is about to get the end of it as Wagner is throwing punches at will. Nothing coming back
as
Wagner is throwing over the top, and finally Simmons gets in. Wagner gets the TKO. But oh my, Jeremy Abbott took the brunt of the full force of Ryan Wagner.
Great effort by Ryan Wagner. I thought he landed a few too many punches of Jeremy Abbott there, and I thought referee Mark Simmons a little slow in stopping it.
But it seemed like every time that Abbott was pushed back, he came back with a couple, and maybe that's why Simmons said, hey, okay, I'll give you another opportunity.
His hands were up, but he was getting rocked every time. I mean, look at the replay. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, what's he answering back with? I mean, it's tacit resistance at best. Boom, boom. I mean, like there you stop the fight. He did.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's where they stopped the fight.
Several moments leading up to that fight where I thought referee Mark Simmons should have stepped in. At least he stepped in when he did.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a total fiasco. But I just don't like to see a guy take that much punishment in the ring. But at the end of the day, a great performance by Ryan Wagner.
A third-round TKO from Ryan Wagner. He'll go to 3-1, while Jeremy Abbott drops his record to an even 2-2. And boy, Ryan Wagner just kept throwing punch after punch, and it was the quantity, but also the quality that was in there as well.
Great point, Doug. It's when he started straightening up, especially with the right hand, that it became an emphatic romp. They started off, both guys were wild, both guys looked like they needed some polish. It's when that polish came on Wagner's right that the tide really turned in this fight.
It's nice to see a young fighter figure out the opponent's weakness and then exploit it for the next few rounds until he gets the win.
Learning on the fly is key in this sport.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be able to be adaptable in the ring, and you have to be able to adjust mid-fight. And clearly Ryan Wagner saw that, realized that if I keep that right hand straight, I can throw it and land it almost at will. And that was the case through rounds 2 and 3, emphatically in this fight.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the big keys for Ryan Wagner, not just the volume of punches that he threw, but the fact that he didn't lose any steam off those punches as well.
I mean, you looked early on that maybe fatigue was going to set in, but he
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 45 seconds of the third round.
To the ring.
As referee
Here's
Mark Simmons
Pierre Bernier
stops the action. The winner, Ryan Wagner.